4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we very much appreciate you tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will be joined by Madison Central senior golfers Elizabeth Eberle and Clarabeth Ramsey. Lady Indians have been destroying golf courses all over the Commonwealth in the past month or so. They played in 10 tournaments, and they've won 9 of them, so including one just yesterday. So they'll be here to talk about the fantastic start to the season for the Madison Central girls golf team. But before we do that, we want to start off the show the same way we started off every week, with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports. And this was the first weekend of high school football in the Bluegrass. 3 games and all 3 Madison County teams in action. And we're going to start off right here in Richmond, which with a matchup that a lot of people thought would be one of the better games in the state on Friday night. And man, did it live up to the billing. Madison Central and LCA, 2 teams with legitimate state championship hopes. Madison Central lost in the semifinals of the 6A playoffs last year. LCA lost in the finals of the 2A playoffs. So 2 top 25 teams preseason, and it lived up to the billing as Madison Central picks up a dramatic 38-34 win over the Eagles. Jaden West with a touchdown catch with 2 seconds left to propel the Indians to the victory, and that victory was number 300 in the career of legendary Madison Central coach Mike Holcomb. Jaden West had 3 touchdown catches in the game and also had an interception. Central trailed 34-31 with 1:11 left, but Hagen Harrison, the quarterback, led the Indians down the field for the game-winning touchdown. Actually, Jaden West caught a pass about 10 seconds before that at the end and got into the end zone, but it was called back because of a block in the back. Given a redo, though, Hagen Harrison hit him in the left corner of the end zone, which sparked a really fun celebration. Hagen and Jaden running up into the crowd and having a lot of fun. But after the game, we got a chance to talk to Coach Mike Holcomb, who was celebrating his 300th victory.
Well, we're here at Madison Central High School, where the Indians have picked up a 38-34 win in a fantastic game over Lexington Christian Academy. Coach Mike Holcomb, I know you don't want to talk about it, but we'll get it right out of the way. It's your 300th career win. I know you kind of don't really care about milestone things like that, but it's still got to be a pretty special thing.
Yeah, I mean it is, but like I was saying, I've been blessed to coach a whole lot of great athletes. I've had a lot of great assistant coaches, and I've been at 3 schools where I feel like I had a lot of community support and administration support. And that makes it easier, But having great players and coaches, they can put you in a good position.
Kind of like
Chuck.
Yeah. Great players, kind of like Jaden West out there with 3 touchdown catches tonight, including the game winner with 2 seconds left.
Yes, I mean he's a playmaker, and we just Hagen was able to give him the ball and get it up there where he can make a play. And when we can do that, I feel like he'll make plays. He is a playmaker, and we got a little time there, and we threw it up to him 2 or 3 times. I thought he scored before to win the game, and I don't even know what happened on that, but he can make plays, and that makes us a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum really swung there. I mean, Brady went out. Your offense kind of stalled without him in there, and then their quarterback can just chuck it, and all of a sudden they take the lead, 34-31, and you guys have about a minute left to come up with something, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, they did, and they were just so proud of them. They just kept making plays, and our line picked it up, and everybody just gutted it out, and it was just, it was a fun deal, sort of bring back the Pikeville game, I guess. It just so exciting for our kids.
Yeah, and often joke in sports that sometimes the games don't live up to the hype, but here's 2 top 25 teams, 2 teams that were within a game of winning the state championship last year, and it was exactly what everybody wanted it to be. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think they got their money's worth tonight to watch this game. It was it was back and forth, and And you saw two good football teams tonight. I feel like they were talking about the quarterback Cutter Bowley being good, but I tell you, I like my quarterback too, or our quarterback. I like Hayden Harrison. He made a lot of plays when we needed him tonight.
All right, congratulations, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Coach. But man, what a thrilling way to achieve a milestone victory. LCA struck first, went up 7-0, and Madison Central responded with 2 Brady Hensley touchdown runs, and then a Pat Morin field goal right before the half made it 17-7. And then the second half, it just went back and forth. But two touchdown catches from Jaden West, one of 15 yards, one of 11 yards. But like I said, there with 1:11 left, LCA took the lead, and you kind of could feel the momentum starting to shift until Jaden West came up with one more big play. And speaking of Jaden West, after the game, we had a chance to speak to Jaden West and Kenyatta Harge.
All right, we're here at Madison Central High School where the Indians have picked up a 38-34 win over LCA in the season opener. Wow, what a dramatic finish. Kenyatta Harge, Jaden West. Jaden, with about 11 seconds left, you thought you had scored the go-ahead touchdown, the call back on the penalty. Next play, what was the play call on that next play?
Oh, I can't even remember. What did we run? We ran 64, and it was kind of busted. But did he find Travis on that?
Yeah, he found Travis.
He found Travis on that, and that put us closer to the end zone. So kind of just added up to the last play, helped it.
Yeah, and then of course you got the touchdown there with 2 seconds left. Kind of what was going through your mind on that play?
Hey, the jump ball happened. That's low-key my specialty, so I kind of knew I had a better odd on it. It just happened. It was one of them things.
Yeah, you guys, they just kept coming at you on offense, but you guys made enough stops to get the ball back one last time, and those guys did their thing.
Yes, sir.
But, your first game back from injury last year, how you feel?
I feel amazing. It's good to be back out here with my brothers, we just have something special, and I think it's just more than most teams have, because when one of us goes down, because we all went down with cramps, we all picked each other back up, we got back in the game, and it's just a brotherhood. And when you got a team like this and an amazing student section, there's nothing we can do about it. We just know we got to go out and play.
Yeah, you gave up 34 points, but you guys did force a fumble. You guys blocked a punt, so you guys did some good things on defense,
yes, sir,
despite the 34 up there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Just talk to you guys about, you guys have played for Coach for 2 years now. To help him get to 300, what does that mean for you guys?
Oh, that's just amazing right there. That's just one of them things that I know he's dreamed about. We just really wanted to achieve it tonight. Like, we wanted this to be the game out of all games for him to hit his 300 win, so it just felt great.
Yeah, it felt so special because, when we first met him, we didn't know how it was going to go, but he stepped up. He's a great leader. Love playing for him. I know everybody else does too.
Great game, man. Guys, congratulations. A lot of fun.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, appreciate those guys talking to us after the game. Hagen Harrison, 10 for 18, 3 touchdowns, 114 yards, 1 interception. His first game back after breaking his foot back in the spring, so good to see him back out there. Like we said, Jaden West, 6 catches, 74 yards, 3 touchdowns, also had an interception on defense. Brady Hensley, 23 rushes, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. Missed a lot of the second half because of cramps. A lot of kids were cramping on a hot, humid night down at Tomahawk Valley. Mentioned some defensive guys. Leo Satella blocked a punt and recovered it. That was a big play there in the second half. Hayden Kaiser, 11 tackles. Rylan Rhodes with a fumble recovery. And Brock Eads with 8 tackles and a forced fumble. He forced a fumble on a just massive hit. A guy came out of the backfield with the ball, and he came flying through and just dislocated him from that thing. So Brock's not a big guy, but he'll lay a hit on you, that's for sure. Madison Central 1-0 and now 11-4 in the 2 seasons that Mike Holcomb has been the coach. Back in action Friday at home against Dunbar, and we'll be out there to do our tailgate show again. Of course, the Indians played Dunbar twice last year, including a 43-7 win over the Bulldogs in the region championship game. Well, a brand new era of football started at Madison Southern on Friday night. Mark Payne era, the new coach down there. Lots of new stuff down there, new turf, new lights, new uniforms, new starting quarterback. Lots of new stuff, but the Eagles were facing an old rival, someone they're very familiar with in Southwestern. Of course, the Warriors, Class 5A powerhouse, they've been to the region championship game 6 straight years. But it was the Eagles who came out and punched them in the mouth, took a 19-0 lead. But eventually, the Warriors wore down the Eagles, and it was Southwestern rallying to pick up a 27-19 win. Tanner Wright with 4 touchdowns for Southwestern, 3 of those coming in the fourth quarter. But it was Stephen Whitehead, with a pair of rushing touchdowns in the first quarter, and then it was Ja'Shawn Etheridge for Madison Central with a 56-yard, Madison Southern with a 56-yard touchdown catch from new quarterback Ethan Woods. And it was 19-0 right before the half, but Southwestern got one just before the intermission and then really kind of turned the tables and dominated the second half. So after the game, our buddy Ricky Elkins had a chance to talk to the new coach at Madison Southern, Mark Payne, who obviously a little bit disappointed his team wasn't able to hold on, but still very, very proud of the effort the Eagles put in.
We're here with Coach Mark Payne with the Madison Southern Eagles. 27-19 loss tonight to Southwestern, a 5A powerhouse, but you pretty much gave them a run for their money all night. And your thoughts on the game, sir?
Our kids were very coachable this week. They bought into everything Coach White, our offensive coordinator, Coach Kirk, our defensive coordinator, put in. Came out. We had some few injuries this week. We lost a couple of guys early in the week that kind of put us behind the 8 ball. But I can't discredit our kids. They came out and fought for 4 quarters, fought for 48 minutes. And we said we were going to come out swinging fast, and we did that, and we got them on their toes a little bit. Like you said, Southwestern's a very resilient team. They've made it to the region championship for the past 6 years. Every kid that's on that team's played in region championships. So it was just one of those things. They were a little bit more resilient. They had a little bit more gas in the tank. That's all things that our guys are just going to, get there as the season goes on. We're ahead right now from where we thought we'd be coming into the first game of the season. So we just got to build off this and keep getting better each week.
Yeah, compared to last year, it was a running clock. And how did you come into this compared to last year? I know that you were actually a coach for them. So how was that kind of to approach?
It was very emotional being in this game. It was my first game as a head coach just because I had a strong relationship with all of that coaching staff and all those players. But I wanted my guys to understand it didn't matter who we were facing that first game. I wanted them to come out with a sense of competitiveness regardless of how last season went. They had some up and downs last season, and there were several different reasons and factors that played into that. But like I said, I felt like they bought in and came out and really fought and gave everything they had.
Okay, let's talk. What about next week? Let's talk about it.
Next week we got GRC. They have great run game, so that's going to test us again. We just got to get guys a little bit healthier and get a little bit better condition, play all the way into the fourth quarter.
Okay. Good luck next week, Coach. Thank you.
All right, appreciate Coach taking the time afterwards, and it's really, like I said, disappointing loss. I'm sure you have a 19-0 lead not to be able to hold on for the win. But consider this, folks. These two teams played in the season opener last year, and Southwestern beat Madison Southern 55-14. So big difference there. So there's no moral victories in sports, but still a lot to build on going forward. Stephen Whitehead, 73 yards on 18 carries. Ja'Shawn Etheridge, 6 catches, 139 yards. Ethan Woods, 8 of 24 for 156 yards. 238 yards of offense for Madison Southern, but one area of concern, 11 penalties for 105 yards. So I'm sure moving forward that's something the coaching staff will look to address. Madison Southern 0-1 back in action Friday over in Winchester against GRC. Berea Community opened up the season on Friday as well, taking a bit of a trip down to Harlan. Yamel Cruz had 2 TD runs, and Cody Roberts had a TD reception on a pass from Jason Coburn, but it was the Harlan Green Dragons with a late score to pick up a 28-22 win over Berea. Pirates will be back in action Friday at Nicholas County. The Pirates have 3 straight road games to open the season, so another road test for them coming up as well. And a little bit later on this week, we'll have previews of all the high school football games from this coming Friday night to get you ready for the action. And like I said, we'll be out there tailgating it up again. We do our live tailgate show every Friday night from some location in Central Kentucky, depending on what the schedule is. And this week it'll be Dunbar at Madison Central. So come out and say hello. And we're live on Facebook, and we love to have guests and people come by and talk to us. So if you see us out there, just stop by and say hello. Moving on to high school golf, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, the Madison Central Lady Indians just continue to rack up tournament championships. On Saturday, they were at the Bluegrass Invitational at Heritage Hills in Shepherdsville and shot a 306 to edge out Cooper by 4 strokes to take the title, the 9th title of the season in 10 events. 9 first-place finishes and 1 second-place finish. That's pretty impressive, folks. Elizabeth Eberle won under 71 to finish 5th individually. Clarabeth Ramsey is 75. Lydia Harold is 79. Mackenzie Fetterspill in 81, Molly Neely in 84, and Abby Buchanan playing as an individual shot an 82. Madison Central's B team was over at the Lexington Catholic Invitational in Nicholasville, and they took third place there as well. So both teams will have the week off as they get ready to prep for region and hopefully semi-state, but the next time we'll see the Lady Indians on the course will be September 3rd at the Gene Hillen Invitational. And we'll talk about this here again in a little bit with Clarabeth and Elizabeth Eberle, but did want to let everybody know that the 2022 class of the Kentucky Golf Hall of Fame was announced earlier this week, and Madison Central coach Tenny Orr and former EKU men's golf coach Pat Stevens are in that class, so very deserving. Tenny was a great player at Estill County, and she's been a great teacher and ambassador for the sport for a lot of years, so congratulations to both of them. Madison Central's boys were in action twice over the weekend. On Saturday, they finished 7th at the South Oldham Dragon Invitational at Neville Mead and Prospect. Shot a plus 18.306. Clay Pendergrass plus 274, tied for 10th. Radney Bales plus 476, tied for 20th. Warren Thomas a plus 577. Mason Hamrick plus 779. And Seth Barker with a plus 880. And they were also back in action today up in Paris as we are filming this, so I don't have the complete results of that, but if you check our social media sites and richmondregister.com, I'll get those scores posted as soon as the tournament is over. So, and the Indians will also be off this coming week as well, so they won't be back in action until the following Saturday. High school cross-country season also got underway this past weekend. Saturday, Madison Central was at the Central Kentucky Run for the Gold in E-Town. And that was senior Kiara O'Shea beginning her final season of high school, of her high school career, the way she is. Seems like she starts every season with a victory. She is 17:09.23 to take the title there by over a minute. She was just 1 second off her personal best. Shelby Lamb was 5th. Meredith Campbell was 21st in the girls' race, and it was Madison Central placing 4th in the girls' team competition. The boys were 13th. Carter Lamb was the high man there, with finishing 43rd. In the middle school competition, middle school girls, it was Abigail Beal finishing 2nd. In the middle school boys race, it was Peyton Ritchie finishing 10th. Models cross-country team also opened the season on Saturday. They were at the Run for the Barrel in Winchester, and it was the model boys finished 6th. It was Ty Balsler finishing 7th, and Sahil Cuddy Poffenberger 8th. And the girls finished 4th with Addie Fain finishing 10th, and Amelia Lanier finishing 10th. All right, moving on to a busy week in high school soccer. All the teams full go now as we're going to the third week of the season. We're going to have a lot of district games coming up this week, but we had some interesting matchups to tell you about last week as well. And the high school boys side of soccer, we only have one undefeated team left in the county, and it is the Model Patriots. They are now 5-0 on the season. They picked up 3 wins last week. On Tuesday, a hard-fought 3-1 win at home over Somerset. Thursday, a 10-0 win at home over Estill County. And then on Saturday, a 10-0 win at home over Holmes. Through 5 games, 13 different goal scorers for Model so far this season. Keshav Bondari leading the way with 15 goals himself. 15 players have scored at least 1 point. And in those 5 games, the Model keepers have had to make a total of 12 saves as the Patriots have outscored their opponents 40-2. Well, after Saturday's big win over Holmes, we got a chance to talk to Coach Braden Powell and Asher Mayer.
I'm here at Eastern Kentucky University with the Model Patriots that moved to 5-0 on the season with a 10-0 win over Holmes. Coach Braden Powell, Asher Mayer, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Coach, you couldn't be more happy, I guess, with the way you guys have played so far. Like I said, 5-0, you've outscored your opponents 40-2. Just kind of talk about the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, no complaints about being 5-0, obviously. We still have things to work on. We're definitely not in mid-season form by any means, but, it's just been a positive start. The boys are really building chemistry together, and I think we're seeing that game by game. We're growing, and that's the big thing is just, keep on climbing. We don't want to become, flat. So, we're definitely pleased as a coaching staff, as a team. So, we'll keep on going.
Asher, I think the one thing I enjoy most about this team is how unselfish you guys are. You're always looking to make the extra pass.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of different guys score, lots of different guys with assists. And it seems like you guys enjoy getting everybody involved.
Yeah, we definitely do. We want to see everyone score, from like the freshmen to the seniors. We want everyone to contribute. I feel like that's visible on our stat sheet.
Yeah, coming up, a couple of 10-0 wins this week. I guess it's pretty easy back there for Maddox Marks these days in goals, huh? You didn't really have to do much back there.
He'll get tested here soon. He'll get tested. But games like this too. I mean, they do have positives. It's a chance to get everybody in. Everybody gets some playing time, and kind of we're still working on our system and stuff. So it's valuable. But and again, it's nice to fill out the stat sheet for the boys. So we're happy. But we got tests coming up. So we better be ready.
You just want to kick it back to Maddox sometimes just to get him involved.
I need to take a shot on a goal for him.
Well, obviously the schedule will get a little bit tougher coming up here. So what are you guys looking forward to?
Oh, we're looking forward to every district game. We're coming for them all. But this year we really want to win our district. My class, very hungry for the districts. We're thinking Central, Southern, Berea every day. That's what we practice for. We're coming for them.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time. All right, Model will be back in action Thursday at home against Trinity Christian. Madison Southern boys soccer team also playing very well. They've won 3 straight after opening the season with a loss to Lexington Catholic. 2 games last week, a 5-2 win at home over Danville on Tuesday, and then on Saturday, an 8-1 win at home over North Laurel. In the win over Danville, it was Avery Davidson with 3 goals, and in the win over North Laurel, it was Hayden Shepard with 2 goals, and Cam Heshamy and Rue Limmer with a goal and 3 assists each. The Eagles will be back in action Tuesday at home and against Southwestern. And Berea Community Pirates picked up their first win of the season last week, and that was on Tuesday, a 5-1 win at home over Trinity Christian. Then on Thursday, suffered a 3-1 loss at home to North Laurel, and then on Saturday, went on the road and suffered a 2-0 loss to Franklin County. In the win over Trinity Christian, it was Cannon Cummings with 3 goals, Peyton Jones with a goal and an assist, and Samuel Stefan with the goal as well. And in the loss to North Laurel, it was Cannon Cummins with the goal, and the Berea will be back in action Tuesday night at home in their first 44th District matchup of the season against Madison Central. And speaking of the Madison Central boys soccer team, they did not get a chance to play a game this past week. Only had one on the schedule. They went up to Northern Kentucky on Saturday. Supposed to take on Ryle. There was a bunch of lightning and weather delays, and eventually that game was postponed. Did not get that one in. Don't know if they'll try to reschedule that or not, make that long trip up there again. But Madison Central sitting at 0-3 on the season. Be back in action Tuesday night at Berea Community. On the girls' side of high school soccer, there's only one undefeated team over there as well, and it is also from a Model. The Lady Patriots are 2-0-2. Had just one game this week, but it was a 4-0 win Wednesday at home against Berea Community. Maya Bandari, 2 goals. Peyton Sparks, a goal and 2 assists. Kaya Marks with a goal, as the Lady Patriots scored a season-high 4 goals. And after the game, I got a chance to talk to Coach Mike Austin and Peyton Sparks. All right, we're here at Eastern Kentucky University, where the Model Lady Patriots have picked up a 4-0 win over Berea. That's Peyton Sparks. That's Coach Mike Austin. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, offense is starting to come along. 4 goals is a season high for you guys. I feel like it's starting to click and getting some more people involved in the attack.
Yeah, for sure. The passing game's better. We're getting the combination play we want to get. Different girls are shooting and finishing, so that's good to see some girls get assists and goals today. It's just that's the part that, as we've said, we've been working on more, and it's good to see what happens in training happen in a game. So I'm really proud of them for that.
Yeah, Peyton, what's been the key, you think, to getting more people involved in the offense?
Well, we're just moving everybody around. We're trying different people in different places, and I think we finally kind of found our groove and stuff. I mean, we're gritty.
Yeah. That's right. That's what's on the back of the shirt, right?
Exactly. That's the key.
That's one of the grit. Yeah, that's the slogan. So, talk about your goal. It was pretty far out there. You got a good leg on it.
Yes, I have Maya, and we usually differentiate between who takes those. I usually take the long ones. She usually takes the shorter ones, and that one was mine. And nobody was set up, and the goalie wasn't really ready and paying attention. So I was just gonna take it quick, try and get a jump on. Ended up going in. So it's pretty nice.
Well, Coach, obviously you need your defense and your goaltending would be pretty strong, but you've only given up 2 goals through 4 games. One of those is on a PK, so you got to feel pretty good about the back line and Claira in the net.
Yeah, for sure. They're strong. All 4 spots in the back line we trust, and we've got 2 senior leaders at center back. So as a coach, you got that foundation, then you build on that, and it's good to see. I mean, they're doing their job. They're getting better, like the rest of the team. So yeah, it's good to see it come along. It's fun.
Yeah, Madison Southern Monday night. You guys excited?
Right. Yeah, we're ready. Play them hard.
All right, we'll see you then.
I appreciate Coach and Peyton taking the time to talk to us. And as they just said there in the video, big showdown tomorrow night, Monday night, over at EKU. First, a big district matchup, Model and Madison Southern. So that'll be a fun one to look forward. I'm looking forward to that, and it'll be a fun one to be at. So Madison Central girls soccer team came into the week undefeated, but was not able to come up with a win this week. On Wednesday, a 1-1 tie at Somerset. Natalie Connect scoring her 5th goal of the season. But then on Saturday at home, a 1-0 loss to LCA. So they the Indians fall to 2-1-1 on the season. They'll be back in action Thursday at Berea Community. Madison Southern girls soccer team is playing pretty well heading into that matchup with Model. 3 straight wins for them, including 2 last week. On Tuesday, it was a 10-0 win at home over Berea. And then on Thursday, a 2-0 win at home over Lincoln County. In the win over Berea, it was Taya Darst and Carly Heshemy with 2 goals each. In the win over Lincoln County, it was Taya Darst and Mallory Dewerson with the goals there. 3-1 on the season, and like we said, be back in action Monday night at Model. And the Berea Community Lady Pirates, a couple of losses last week. 10-0 to Madison Southern on Tuesday, and then a 4-0 loss to Model on Wednesday. Do want to make sure I point this out, a couple of district losses for Berea last week, but Diane Weidman really played well in goal. She had 10 saves against Madison Southern and 7 saves against Model. So, and I think those numbers are even low, to be honest with you. Diane saved a ton of shots in both those games, and she's playing really well. The Pirates haven't been generating a lot of offense, but she's been very solid back there in the net and definitely keeping them in games. So Berea will be back in action Tuesday at home against Garrett County. First week of high school volleyball around the county, a limited amount of action. Madison Central opened the season on Tuesday with a 3-0 loss at Frederick Douglass, and then on Friday and Saturday they were at the Apollo Summer Slam out in Western Kentucky. They ended up going 5-1 in that tournament and finishing in 5th place. They beat Madisonville North Hopkins, Muhlenberg, and Owensboro, and the only loss they had in the tournament was to Central Hardin, who is the number 8th ranked team in the preseason poll, and even that loss was a 2-1 loss. So a good effort by the Madison Central volleyball team against some good competition out in Western Kentucky. They'll be back in action Monday night at home for their first district matchup of the season against Berea Community. Speaking of Berea Community, they opened the season with a pair of games last week. On Tuesday, a 3-0 loss on the road to Lincoln County, but then bounced back on Thursday with a 3-0 win on the road over Menifee County. The scores there were 25-20, 25-23, and 25-16. Trinity Hannon, 10 digs, 8 kills. Adia Fouch, 9 digs, and Taylor Johnson, 9 digs and 2 kills. And like I said, they'll be back in action Monday night over here in Richmond against Madison Central. Madison Southern, just 1 game on the opening week of the high school volleyball schedule, but it was a good one. A 3-2 exciting win at home on Tuesday over East Jessamine. 25-21, 19-25, 25-14, 17-25, and 15-12. Say that 3 times fast. That's a lot of numbers in there. Julia Bingham, 19 kills. Reagan Burns, 14 kills. And Jordan Walker, 13 assists and 11 digs. Madison Southern will be back in action Tuesday at home against Boyle County. And the Model Lab volleyball team opened the season last week with a pair of losses. On Tuesday, 3-0 at home to Trinity Christian, and then on Wednesday, 3-0 at home to Lexington Christian Academy. Patriots will be back in action on Thursday at home against Danville Christian. The first fall sporting event of the season taking place over at EKU this past week. Thursday, the EKU soccer team opened the season with a 2-1 loss at home to Northern Illinois, but they did bounce back on Sunday and picked up a 2-1 win on the road over Chattanooga. 1-1 on the season. The Colonels will be back in action Sunday up the road against the University of Kentucky. So that's all we got for you right there. It's a lot of stuff. Once again, I always appreciate coaches, everybody, for getting me the info. And it's just a lot of fun to be out there every night checking out the great local athletes here in Madison County. And speaking of great local athletes, we got two of them coming right up. We'll be right back with Elizabeth Eberle and Clarabeth Ramsey.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, well, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central senior golfers Clarabeth Ramsey, Elizabeth Eberle. Thanks, ladies, for coming in on a Sunday afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Coming off another championship, huh? 10 tournaments this year, 9 championships, including the one yesterday up at Heritage Hills. I mean, I think everybody knew this team was going to be good, but did either of you imagine that at this point in the season you guys would have won 9 of the 10 events that you were in?
No. Not at all.
I mean, it's kind of blown away everybody's expectations, really?
Yeah, definitely blown away our expectations. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we're close to being undefeated. We had 1 second place, and I don't think anybody thought we'd been that close to having all wins, so pretty good.
Yeah, and of course you got a couple of individual titles. You got one just recently, and what's interesting, you guys won all those tournaments, but you hadn't had an individual title until just recently. You won the one at Arlington, then you won at Gibson Bay, and then you won. Where was the next one at?
Wild Turkey Trace.
Oh, that's right, the Joy of Golf up in. So you had 2 in a week there.
Yeah, that was a good week.
Yeah.
I'd been just kind of getting second and third, and I've been playing good all season, but it was good to finally get some wins.
Yeah, both of those came in playoffs. So, and of course, the first one you were in a 4-way with her. We're talking about playoffs. I mean, you've been in a few over the years.
Yeah.
How do you approach it?
Well, I've been in a lot of them, so it gets easier each time, I think. But you just have to think, like, I deserve to be in this playoff, and whatever happens, like, I'm here. So whether you win or not, like, you made it to the playoff. Like, so I just think you try to take all the nerves aside, because that's what messes you up in a playoff is just nerves.
Yeah, and the one at Arlington was the 4 players at first, dropped to 3 on the second hole, and then the one at Joy of Golf was 3. So how do you approach that? Are you trying to hit a birdie and win it as fast as you can? I mean, does it depend on the hole, location where you hit your shot?
Yeah, the tee shot, like, if I'm, like, in the fairway, I'm going for it. I'm trying to hit it as close as I can, make a birdie, but I'm not trying to do anything stupid, too, because when there's more than just 2 people, you try to, like, just make pars, and if a birdie happens, then great. But if it's, like, one-on-one, I'd say everyone plays a lot more aggressive. But when there's more than, like, 2 people in it, it's more like just par and see who makes a birdie first.
Yeah, the one at Arlington, you chipped up onto the green, had a nice, short, easy birdie putt.
Yeah, it was good birdie. I'm very happy about that.
And the one in Lawrenceburg was, about a 30-footer?
Yeah, I haven't made a putt that long in a long time, so it was very stress-free, that playoff, which was good.
Yeah. Well, the one at Arlington, you were in it as well, so you kind of ganged up on the other ladies. I mean, the first girl dropped off after the first hole, but it was the 2 of you and another young lady on the second hole, so but you guys were still talking, kind of helping each other out. I mean, obviously, it's an individual thing at that point. The team title was already decided, but you guys obviously played together for so long, such good friends. So you were still kind of partners out there, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We said the goal was just somebody in red win the playoff, so that was the goal.
Yeah. When you came back the next day and win your first individual championship of the year at Gibson on your home course, we talked about it a little bit afterwards, but in case anybody missed it, just kind of tell us what that meant for you guys.
Well, me and Elizabeth both played great that day, and as we said earlier, it meant a lot because normally at Gibson Bay we don't have our best rounds there. So for both of us to come off the course on our last high school tournament there, having great rounds meant a lot to us. So
yeah, you were third, so you were right there too. Yeah. You notoriously don't play well though, right?
Yeah.
At least doing competition play, right?
Yeah, it was special. Not until the end of the round did it really hit me that, like, this is my last invitational, like, at Gibson Bay, and so that was kind of sad, but it was just awesome that we played good and just got to go out on a high note.
Chipped in on 18. That's pretty good. Well, tell us a little bit more about the recovery from your shoulder injury. Kind of how did you hurt your shoulder, and kind of what's been the recovery like? I know you took about 4 weeks off.
Well, how I hurt it, I couldn't give you a specific reason how. I think a lot of it started with my back. It was just undergoing a lot of stress, like just from overuse and everything like that. So then once my back, I quit trying to use it as much, I guess I'd say, when I was golfing, causing me to put more pressure on my right shoulder. So I think that's what ended up wearing it out right there. But pretty much the only thing that I could do for it besides like going to PT and trying to strengthen up different parts, I had to just take the 4 weeks off. And that sucked, but I had to deal with it. But it helped a lot. Just not using those muscles every single day was a huge difference maker. And
have you adjusted your swing since or anything? Or are you kind of back to where you were before? Or?
I'd say I adjusted before I took some time off, but in like a bad way, kind of making some bad habits. But now that I'm back, I can swing like I used to without stress on my body, which feels so much better. Yeah. But it definitely did suck, especially coming back after the 4 weeks off. I hadn't done that since, I mean, even in the winter, we still practice and everything. So, I don't know. That was weird. Felt weird.
Yeah. But, and you got off to a rough start. You put up numbers that we don't usually see you put up. But
yeah. And I still do every now and then. It's definitely been a very up and down season. Coming out of the gate, though, my first tournament, I think I'd only been hitting the ball for 5 or 6 days. Like our qualifying was my first 18-hole round coming back. So it was definitely, like my first qualifying day, I shot a lot. I don't remember what it was, but it was a lot. And I was like, wow, I'm rusty. But once I got in the groove of it and everything, and it feels good playing high school tournaments because they're not as stressful. And also our team being so good this year, that took so much stress off of me because we had so much more, we have so much more depth this year. That we had a lot more lower scores, and there wasn't as much weight on me. A lot of other girls have just carried not only their own weight, but a little bit of mine too when I am playing bad. So that was something that really helped this season, and we're getting better though.
Yeah. Well, she took some time off over the summer, but you were very busy. Talk about the big national event you played down in Bowling Green.
Yeah, the U.S. Junior. It was probably one of the most fun weeks I've ever had. It was just such a cool experience, just being treated like one of the best, and the field was amazing, and all the friends that I made were awesome, and it was just a great experience, and now I'm just going to keep working hard to try to qualify to go again. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, some of the best junior golfers in the world, and you finished 84th, so that's that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Well, let's talk about both of you. I talked to your coach, Tenny, earlier today on the phone, and she said that she feels like both of you making your college decisions and getting those out of the way before the season has been a big help. University of Cincinnati, Eastern Kentucky University. I'll start off with you. Just kind of talk about recruiting process, who was looking at you, and what you liked about Cincinnati.
Well, recruiting process, if you ask anyone, they'll probably all say it's stressful, and it's just hard, like, trying to figure out what you want to do, because I'm 17 and I feel like I'm trying to figure out my whole life. But Cincinnati, I felt like it was a school I'd want to go to, whether it was for golf or not. I just love the university, and the coach is awesome, and the girls on the team I really liked. And I went on a few visits there, and every time I just felt like this is where I belong. So it made the decision pretty easy, but it's very nice to have already decided, because it just takes a lot of weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, you're staying a little closer to home. I know it's interesting. I've done this for a lot of years now, and we have some kids that can't wait to get as far away as possible from home, and others who like to be here close to home, either at EKU or UK or somewhere close. Obviously, you have connections there. Joe Neely plays there. So kind of just talk about where else you considered and what you liked about EKU.
Well, when I first started the recruiting process, or even before that.
Maddie Jo Neely, not Miley. I got the Maddie Jo Neely. Sorry.
Sounds the
Go
same.
ahead.
It sounds the same.
We'll talk about Molly in a minute, but Maddie Jo Neely's at EKU. Sorry about that.
Well, I feel like every kid is like, oh, I want to go south, or I want to go away. A lot of it's like, I want to go south. But once you get really into it and you start talking to different colleges and the different just like aspects of how they roll, it just really hit me that I think the way that Eastern does everything, I liked it a lot better. And going south, it's just, I wouldn't be able to come home on the weekends or anything like that either. So, and I like being close to home. That'd be nice. I live on a farm, and I want to be able to, like, come back whenever I want to, you know. And just going far away, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do agree about the whole, like, it takes a lot of stress off. Especially last high school season, me and Elizabeth missed some high school tournaments so that we could play in junior golf tournaments, and we felt the stress of, like, needing to play in those high-level tournaments over high school tournaments for the recruiting process. And that really affected how invested we were in the team and all that. So this year, it's been awesome not having to skip any high school tournaments and getting to play all of them and be with our team every weekend. So I think that's one of the parts that makes me really happy. Is I don't have to worry about skipping tournaments and going different places right now.
Yeah, well, she mentioned depth earlier, and my goodness, I mean, you got 11, 12, 13 girls you could throw out there. Your B team regularly finishes second or third at tournaments, sometimes right behind the A team.
Yeah.
I joke that you can't even call it a B team anymore. It's that's kind of you know, it seems like that's not doing them enough credit. But you know, Tenny has all year long, she said the scoring averages are going to determine the spots, and we've seen some movement. Abby Buchanan was a girl who played at the state tournament last year. She dropped out of the top 5 briefly. She's been back in, but it's all based on scoring averages. And I mean, you got, you know, the Federspiel girls are both sophomores, right? And of course Molly's
They're freshmen.
Yeah, and Molly Neely's a freshman, and so you gotta. It's tough, and you're going to get pushed, and even. You know, like you were playing at the number 4 the other day, weren't you?
I think I played
or 3 or 4.
3. I think I played 3.
Yeah.
You played,
or played 4 maybe.
4.
Yeah, I think I played 4. I played 3 at the beginning though. Like the first few I played 3, and then I played 4 too. Yeah. It kind of sucks, you know, getting moved around. But I would say it's one of those things you just step back and look at it and be like, wow, this is such a great thing that we have so much depth and such great scores that we have to push everybody around. I mean, I think it's a curse, but it's also a blessing at the same time. So
yeah.
Well, let's talk about some other young ladies. Or Lydia, I think Lydia Harold has made great improvements this year.
Yeah.
Just we know her from when she was at Model and had to sit out a year because of that. But talk about her and what you've seen from her game.
Lydia, she's always been a great player, but this year she's really impressed everyone. She's just so consistent. She's just like that person we can count on to like be steady and play good golf, and she's just really impressed, I think, everyone this year.
Yeah, she's been playing at the 2 a lot at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way up. And I get her name, Molly Neely, right? So I get Molly and Maddie confused. Molly's just a freshman. Talk about her a little bit.
Molly's an impressive freshman, that's for sure. She comes out there and she can put some really low scores out that I think every other team and every other school, when they get done and they look at the leaderboard, they're like, wow, their freshman just shot even par or below even. She broke even twice this season. I think everybody was just so proud of her. That's crazy. She's an all-around athlete, though. She doesn't just play golf, you know. She plays softball, and she loves both of them, and she's committed to both of them. So it's very impressive that she can do both and be great at both the sports she does. But we love Molly. She does her part, does more than what she's asked of. So
I think Maddie told me about 3 years ago, she said she's going to be way better than I ever was. So she's already showing that as a freshman. And you're talking about the depth of this team. When you have a girl that plays mostly on your B team in Haley Rice, who has already committed to play college at Midway, I mean, what does that say about the amount of the kids you got?
I don't think any other high school team can say they have a college athlete on their B team. It's crazy.
I'm sure Tenny told you, but there was 4 girls, I think. They had 1 stroke in between each of them. Like, all 4 of them, there was like 1 stroke difference between them. Some of them. One of our tournaments, Tenny literally determined playing the 5-man by getting averages, and
it was like
0.25.
It was like 0.25 for who played our 5-man. It's
like, that's
crazy.
how close they all were.
Yeah.
So I think that it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, if my memory serves me right, I think it was one of the tournaments you played at Kearney, where Aubrey Barrow, who was literally the 5 on the B team, finished tied for 11th. Tied for 11th.
Wysinger? It was Wysinger.
Tied for 11th overall.
She just shot 83 the other day also. And
Yeah.
She shot 75, that was awesome.
Yeah, so 5 on the B team is literally like your 10th best player and just finished 11th individually in a real
that just
varsity tournament against good competition, not, some little, one-off thing somewhere, against, on a Tuesday afternoon. This is, against legit competition.
She's definitely our most improved, and it's really impressive. I've played a few rounds with her this season, and it's awesome watching her play.
Yeah.
She has a lot of determination.
Yeah, you guys, I was looking at the numbers again. It still amazes me. July 27th at Kearney, the 284. And the top 4 girls had a combined total of 17 birdies in that tournament, and that you broke the school record by 11 strokes. I mean, you guys still look back on that at all and think, wow, that was pretty
Every
awesome.
year we've, lowered the school record,
Yeah.
I don't know if
for the past 3 years. But
I don't know if we'll be able to get below the 290 or 84. That is pretty.
Every year it's been close to the year before's record, and we kept on breaking it. But this year we blew it out of the water, so it's gonna be hard to touch this one, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving forward, you guys do have a week off, but Tenny is encouraging you guys to go on your own and play at the potential postseason sites. The regional is at Woodford Country Club. And then the semi-state would be at Winchester Country Club. We were just kind of talking about that off-air. 2 courses you guys not all that familiar with. I think you guys have played Winchester. Like Tenny said, you guys have gone over Winchester once. No, Woodford once.
Yeah, we went to Woodford once, and Winchester we had middle school tournaments at.
9-hole middle school tournaments.
Yeah, so we've played there once or twice. But
I literally couldn't
4
tell
years
you
ago.
what any of that course looks like. So.
Well, you got a week and a half for all.
Yeah, we're gonna go play.
Well, of course, they did change it this year. The KHSA did with the semi-states now, so the region is not going to be quite as pressure-packed. The last few years, it was only 1 team from each region. I got to go on to the state, and there were a couple of years that you guys were on the outside of that looking in. So this year, maybe not quite as much pressure with 2 teams getting to go in, but there's still a lot of good competition in this region, so you're still going to have to go out there and play pretty well. And if you don't finish in the top 2, season's over, and no matter how many tournaments you win, right? I mean, so not to put a lot of pressure on you. But so at least it's 2 teams instead of 1, right? So
it's definitely had its toll on a lot of teams the past few years, not taking 2 teams out of each region, especially our region. Last year, LCA had 4 individual girls out of their top 5 go to state, but they didn't go as a team. So they could have been playing as a team there, but because of the rule, they were just 4 individuals.
Yeah, the year we didn't qualify, when we got second at regionals, I think we were ranked 4th as a team, in the state, on all state points. So, but we didn't even get to go play. So we had a chance to compete for the state title that year, but we couldn't go because LCA beat us out of regionals.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk a little bit about your coach. I know she couldn't be here today. We wanted to bring her over, but she is going to be inducted into the 2022 class of the Kentucky Golf Hall of Fame, along with former EKU men's golf coach Pat Stevens. But she's been with you guys for a few years now. Did either of you go to her? It's up at Tate's Creek. Is that where she's at up in Lexington? Man-o-War. Did either of you go up there to use her as a swing coach?
I did some, and I still do a little bit every now and then for short game stuff.
Okay. You guys have probably known her forever, though, just being around the golf scene. Of course, obviously, you've grown up on the golf course.
I think I've known her since I was around 11.
I
12.
met her for the first time when she took the coaching job.
Oh, okay.
I'd heard she's all serious and all business. And after one season, she feels like she's my funny old grandma. She
won't take
great.
any offense to that either, though.
Yeah,
no. We're not calling her.
No, you don't have to cut this scene. It's fine.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize that what a kind of a trailblazer she was, and over at Estill County, and the success she had as a player, and everything over there. Did you guys know much about that at all? Did she ever talk about that?
Well, we make visits over to her house pretty frequently for dinner, and sometimes when we go sit down in the living room, you just look on the wall and there's newspaper articles just in frames on the wall, and there's just random stuff everywhere that you see. They're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
It's hanging up in her house, and then once we ask her, she'll be like, yeah, I did that. Just very casually will tell you.
She doesn't brag about it.
No.
But once you get her talking about it, it's very impressive. I wouldn't have thought it. She doesn't come across like she was some superstar, but she did some awesome things.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she's definitely, obviously, Coach Neal did a great job too with the past, and obviously the 2015 state championship and all that. But obviously, she's taken it to a different level here, and she's like so many other coaches we have in this county. Such a very humble person, and I talked to her today, and she passed a lot of the credit off to your father and the people who run the youth stuff here in the county. So it's very, very low key, like you said, very.
Yeah.
Not looking for any credit of her own. She's kind of, the whole thing with the Hall of Fame, she was kind of all shucks, kind of like,
Yeah, she's one of the most deserving people of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got a week off, so you got any plans besides Winchester and Woodford?
Well, we have to go to school now.
Yeah, you have to go to
school started,
You're going to take some time off, though, in between there? Or?
Today was my day off. So.
Yeah,
okay.
I took today off, so get back at it tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, if you
make some trips up to Woodford and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you weren't out there at Gibson Bay playing, people would probably be wondering what. You can't imagine how many times you played that course in your life.
So many.
So many.
Yeah, I go to Arlington for a couple days and they're like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, "I was at Arlington practicing."
You got to go to some other courses sometimes too, just to change it up a little bit. That's such a hard course though, Gibson. I mean, you always talk about that, and long course.
Yeah, it's good practice. Gets you prepared for other tournaments.
Yeah.
Playing a difficult course.
I heard somebody describe it years ago as a 2-cigar course. So, not that you guys smoke cigars, but some golfers smoke cigars, and you got to bring 2 with you if you're going to go to Gibson. Hey, bring those over there, Randy. What I got sitting right there.
What do you got?
Now, I hope I got the right brand. You always have a drink with you on the course. Do you have Bang?
Yes, that's exactly what we always
There's another one over there.
That's exactly what we have.
I always see you. This is the right brand, right? Bang?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
You drink them too?
Yes.
Okay, I know I've seen you, but I haven't seen you do it.
These are my 3 favorite flavors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are the best
total
flavors.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well,
we had a
thank
picture of you. My buddy Rick got a picture of you a couple years ago, and you were like, "Send me that picture with the drink."
Yeah, I have it every single tournament.
Well,
Can't go without it.
So there you go.
Now you got a hashtag Bang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your success, and we hope to have you back here in a little bit. I mean, obviously, you guys have accomplished great things so far, but there are much bigger goals still out there, and we don't want to jinx any of that or assume anything, because golf is one of those sports. If you could have bad weather, like I said, you're going to play on 2 courses you're not that familiar with. Anything can happen. So we don't want to jump ahead. We don't want to make any predictions or anything like that. But we are rooting for you, and congratulations on all your success. And thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. Be back next Sunday night with a new edition. And as always, Richmond R Sports on Twitter is the place to be to get all the latest updates and pictures of these young ladies and everybody else in the county. And, of course, Register Sports on Facebook and richmondregister.com. See you next time.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.